What's the over/under you think on him getting the intro right?
Are we putting money on this?
We can. I don't have any money on me, but I have some in a bank account.
I don't want to put a lot of money on him doing it right.
All right.
I know he's probably not.
Okay.
Do I get a cut of this money?
No, this is between.
It's like a horse race.
Yeah.
You're our horse.
This is between the Swede and the communist. We're not including you.
I can put money on you doing the intro.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Matt McCormick here on the set of The Take. We're bringing him back, everybody. If you can't see him, we're blessed again with our Lord and Savior John F. Kennedy. Horatiu was kind enough to bring him out of retirement.
This is one of the most un-American things I think I have seen in a long time.
America killed him, so it only makes sense.
JFK is back.
Bless you, brother.
Oh, by the way, this is the season 3 finale. I guess I
know.
didn't tell you guys that.
Yeah, cool. Well, had to happen at some point.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that we've gone a whole season without Dan.
Oh, Valentine's Day.
Does it count, Lo? Does that count? Does that aberration appearing in front of us count as Dan Gordon, or was that just a fleeting moment in our life?
Yeah, like a blip on the radar.
Yeah. Much like the blip that this is about to be when people hit the fast forward button. Because it's time for Theme Song!
Also, we are reviewing Rear Window by Alfred J. Hitchcock. You want to hear the most annoying sound?
As we said in the intro today, we're reviewing Rear Window, the 1954 classic from Alfred Hitchcock. The 1954 classic Rear Window, directed by none other than Alfred Hitchcock himself, and starring none other than the perfect Jimmy Stewart and the Princess of Monaco herself, Grace Kelly. Boys.
Where's Monaco?
It's on the other side.
Yeah.
She's a princess?
Yes.
Oh.
She's the Princess of Monaco.
She was. I think she's dead.
Yeah, she's dead now,
She's
but she
very
was
dead.
the Princess of Monaco. Here's the plot synopsis from IMDb. A wheelchair-bound photographer spies on his neighbors from his apartment window and becomes convinced one of them has committed a murder.
Dun, dun,
Let's watch a clip.
Lisa, what are you doing? Lisa, what are you doing? Don't go. Come on, get out of there.
She said, ring Sorrell's phone the second you see him come back.
I'm gonna ring it right now.
Oh, no, give her another minute.
What a clip. Boys, what'd you think of the movie 15 Seconds?
Okay.
Ready? Horacio? Mm-hmm. You're gonna go first.
I am.
Yes.
You're not going to switch it at the last minute like you sometimes do?
No, you're gonna go now.
I thought the movie was very cool. I thought it was quaint, just like The Killing, but not unlike The Killing. I thought it was really good. I thought the acting was fantastic. The set design was wonderful. Just the actual tension and the plot, like everything was fantastic.
Time!
I thought you were going to let me go because I was saying how good it was.
Nope, 15 seconds is 15 seconds.
Rules are rules.
Aiden.
Go.
Yeah, you're on the clock.
It's simple, fun, quaint, and I like it.
I said quaint.
Well, that's too bad.
started with 3 seconds like already in, and he's done it 6 seconds.
He's 22, ADD generation. They need to get done quickly, otherwise they lose interest. Okay.
Are you just old and slow?
No, you're just young and dumb.
You can get the same pills they got, man. Everybody can get those pills. It's not exclusive to the younger millennials.
Nah, see, I like to do my drugs intravenously.
So, boys, this movie's great.
This movie's fantastic.
Yeah, no two doubts about it.
No, not even three.
One of the most amazing things I like about it is its use of location and setting. This whole movie takes place from an apartment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and not even all of the apartment, specifically one room of an apartment, and we do not leave that room for the entire film.
The set design was fantastic. I mean, you could tell that it was obviously in a studio or on studio grounds, in a warehouse, wherever it was, but it made you feel like you were actually in a New York City block apartment, looking into the courtyard between all these buildings.
I really like the use of the set because, like, even though they had a bunch of different sets for the other apartments that he's looking into, they still just chose to shoot in that one, and they made real good use of I wouldn't even say it's like the full room, it's just like that one small section of a room that they just used the entire film.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of like theater productions,
Another thing I'd like to point out is this is all visual storytelling. All of it. From the beginning, you're not given a lot of information from dialogue.
No.
You're given it all from having it shown to you.
Absolutely.
Especially from the main crux of the film, the murder. Everything you see is from that window perspective.
And it was cool just getting it from that like point of view because, Stella kind of said it in the movie, or we're all basically voyeurs at heart. We want to see what the world is like from our own little comfortable area, other people, what their lives are living. And, driving down the street, I always think to myself, looking at houses, I wish I could slice the front off that house just so I can watch and see what people's lives are like. I mean, obviously it's boring. A lot of people are just going to sit there, watch TV, eat, poop, masturbate, and all that good stuff.
Well, people love that. That's why reality TV is still, 30 years later so big.
Yeah, but reality TV is garbage.
Well,
if they made like a reality TV, like Rear Window, sure, I'll watch it.
I mean, they do.
Oh.
You can go on the dark web and you can find people's webcams and you can just watch people's webcams if you're into that.
But see, I want to do it on a really cool like set. Remember the walled city of like, I forget where it was. It was in Hong Kong or on the border of Hong Kong, Kowloon. Hold on, we're gonna take an edit break real quick. The walled city of Kowloon, or the Kowloon walled city, was a largely ungoverned, densely populated settlement in Kowloon City, Hong Kong.
It's a bunch of apartment buildings in like a small block, and everyone can see into everyone's windows because they're all living on top of each other.
I don't want to see webcams and weird stuff like that. I just want to see people living.
There are a few negatives that I feel we should just knock out of the way.
Absolutely.
And then, the rest we can just keep all over. This, at points, especially with the character types and the filmmaking style, does feel incredibly dated. Especially in the beginning with Grace Kelly, and you're starting to get the initial part of her character. She's a victim of the old soft focus technique. And you can see it in the cuts between her and Jimmy Stewart, where Jimmy Stewart has much more clarity. She's much more soft, and there's a little bit of color aberration.
Right, she's the bombshell that we're supposed to be lusting after.
Yeah, but even then, like, because of the lighting and because of that setting, she looks different. Like color-wise, like blue almost.
Sure, but like you said, that was just a technique of the time.
It was a technique of the time.
To go with the negatives and being dated, I kind of, the same vein of the killing, like I mentioned earlier, it did feel like a stage production put on the big screen, put in a movie. And while I thought that was a negative for the killing because I thought the acting was not so great, it's a positive, I think, for Rear Window just because it is so well acted and so well done. The one thing I thought just took it away was Detective Doyle. When he would leave the scene, the two scenes that he was in the apartment, and he would leave with like a quick throwaway exit line, like,
"Is that who I think it is?"
Mrs. Thorwald. Oh, so anything you need, Jeff?
You might send me a good detective.
a big you to
But even Lisa
Jim,
says
or
something
LB
about
Jeffries.
that.
Yeah,
She's like,
yeah.
oh, I love the exit line.
Exactly.
I don't feel Doyle dates it so much as the character types of Jeffries and
Lisa.
Lisa, yes.
Yeah.
Very sexist and traditional in their ways, and I feel that dates it more so than the dialogue does.
Yeah, and it's not, I mean, you threw out the sexist word. It's not a sexist movie just because it is by today's standards.
I wouldn't even call it sexist by today's standards because Lisa still comes on board and she does all the actual physical parts of it. She's the one who breaks into the apartment. She's the one who plants the note. She's a very active participatory role, and I would say that that's very actually progressive for the time.
Right.
But she still does come down to like the damsel in distress role right at the very end.
Yeah, at the very end, she's damsel in distress, and
But even though she's damsel in distress, she still pulls a Swiftie.
Yeah. And Jimmy Stewart's character is the one that kind of really pushes the whole damsel in distress role out of proportion, even though it probably shouldn't be for the fact that she does have control over the situation.
And at the end, Jimmy Stewart was the damsel in distress.
True.
Very true.
Can we talk about his tactic of keeping the killer away, though, which is the flashing light?
Whoa, you're getting way too ahead of yourself.
A little bit.
Damn, you're gonna spoil it right in the before the first commercial break?
I feel like this came out a while ago.
Before last night, I had never seen Rear Window. Here's the thing, I knew Rear Window was supposed to be the end-all be-all of the Alfred Hitchcock movies, or like one of his top 3, but I've never watched it, mostly because I thought it would be boring. And watching it last night because I was forced to by you idiots, I enjoyed it a lot, and I initially thought it was just gonna be Jimmy Stewart being a peeping Tom on his neighbors, and that was it. There wasn't going to be an overarching like murder plot or anything. I was like, this is going to be 2 hours of just Jimmy Stewart looking out a telescope out of his...
There's no such thing as a boring Hitchcock movie. I don't know where you'd get that perception.
I don't know either, but I just thought it was going to be that. But then they introduced the murder arc, and I was like, yeah, I'm in.
Well, with a different director and different actors, this could have easily been just like the most boring thing ever. But with Hitchcock's like special flair and the acting chops of like Jimmy Stewart and Grace Kelly, it helps it drive it along, even though it's so simple.
Yeah. Well, don't forget that this is also one of the 3 Hitchcock films that Jimmy Stewart has done, and each one of them is seen as a classic of cinema.
And I haven't seen the other 2 either. What is that?
Vertigo and
North by Northwest.
How have you not seen either of those?
It's Horacio. Come on. Of course he hasn't seen North by Northwest or Vertigo.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Welcome back from that commercial break. As you can tell, we were deep in discussion over the break, and we were talking about stories and how the murder is the main story, but there's also a B story as well.
And I would say it's not even necessarily a B story, it's just like uppercase A and lowercase A.
It's more like character development.
Yeah. And it's really cool to see, or fascinating to see him blend seamlessly the whole, is L.B. Jeffries going to marry Lisa, whatever her last name is? You know, are they compatible? She wants him to stay in New York and be a photographer there, and he wants to keep going to Pakistan and overseas and shooting war and stuff, photography of war. He like gets up and is falling out of the window, and he's like, "Oh, you did the best. You did so good. I can't." You know, like, was that supposed to be the resolution where he's like, "Well, you can come with me on tour now because you were able to escape a murderer," or what? Like,
you can handle yourself. Good job.
Yeah, I just felt like at the end when she switches from the Himalaya magazine to the fashion magazine, it's just like, okay, so they're gonna fight about this in a week?
Probably.
It was cool seeing the blend of the 2 stories, but there was resolution to the murder arc, but there wasn't resolution to the relationship arc. So it's, you know, he's just gonna be in New York for another 7 weeks with casts on, and when he's ready to get them both off, she's gonna bring up the issue again.
Let's talk about acting, because this probably is Jimmy Stewart's easiest job.
That's true. He's just sitting on a chair with his leg up. Here, have this beautiful woman kiss on you and look out the window with your camera and binoculars and have this slightly older woman just rub you down every day.
And then just be a dick.
And then just be a dick. Yeah, exactly.
Another thing I wanted to talk about is limited information and putting together a story that may or may not be true. I hadn't seen the movie in forever, so I'd forgotten if the ending was with Jimmy Stewart getting egg on his face because that's kind of Hitchcockian, or if it turned out to be the actual murder. It turned out to be the actual murder.
Right.
But there's definitely an air throughout the entire movie where it's like, man, you're making this up.
Yeah, Jimmy Stewart, you've gone crazy.
And I think Hitchcock definitely presents characters and presents information to kind of give you that doubt of being like, what are you doing, man?
Right. And if you see Hitchcock's stuff before you see Rear Window, like other Hitchcock stuff, like Rebecca, like The Birds, stuff like that, that's something that he would do, and that's something that you would half expect, I've only seen a handful of Hitchcock's work, clearly not his top 3, and I was also like feeling that paranoia, even though I knew that's what he does. I was like, wait a second.
No crazy spectacles, no crazy action set pieces,
right?
No explicit nudity, no swear words, nothing loud.
Literally nothing but one spot and one vantage point.
So, if we blind somebody with flash bulbs, do you think they'll be able to pull us out of the window? Because, the way that it ended was weird. Weird confrontation.
Better on paper, not in, execution, I would think. You flash the person, he gets stunned, but at the same time, the way it was shot, it was clunky, it was weird.
Yeah, they reused shots. They reused the shot of him reloading the bulb and covering his eyes. It was the same shot every single time that he did it. I think the filmmakers just got lazy, and Lars was a big dude.
Yeah.
And he couldn't put down Lisa quickly, and he couldn't put down the cripple that Jimmy Stewart was. It's like, dude, and I could up a cripple. Temporary cripple. Temporary cripple.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, what are you going to give it out of how many whatevers?
I'm going to give Rear Window 5 out of 5 binoculars. I think it was just, everything about it was great. I was enthralled the entire time. Visuals were great. Acting was great. The actual filming and the technical end was fantastic. A few little flubs, but you can't fault it.
Yeah, for me, I think I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 tiny dogs in baskets. I could do tiny dead dogs in baskets, but I liked it. It's a good movie. Like I said, simple, nice, easy to watch. It's good.
It took us 3 seasons. We have a unanimous agreement. I'm giving this 5 out of 5 Miss Torsos. This is,
all right. Confetti, go!
Oh, why'd you gotta do that? Now I gotta edit that.
And some fire?
Yeah, fire, yeah.
Fire?
Right.
No!
Explosions?
5 chicks in bikinis! No!
Yeah! All right! Woo! 5 out of 5s, all season long!
Season, baby!
Right.
So you know what that means it's time for, boys, because I want the challenge today to be something special.
Okay.
When we come back from this commercial break.
You taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
This challenge is an intellectual challenge. Alfred Hitchcock is known for introducing a filmmaking technique known as the MacGuffin. What is the MacGuffin of Rear Window?
The MacGuffin's the camera.
That his answer is the camera?
Is there a definitive MacGuffin, or do we have to explain?
No, there's a definitive MacGuffin.
Use it in a sentence.
MacGuffin?
Oh, it's not a spelling bee. Got it. Isn't the MacGuffin the fake Mrs. Thorwald or whatever that he's asleep for, and we don't get to see, or he doesn't get to see her leaving the building?
Unfortunately, boys, you're both wrong. The MacGuffin is a device used to move the plot forward or to initiate the plot. The MacGuffin is the broken leg. So now he's realizing he's wrong, and that's why he's seeing that he's sad, and you're still confused about the term MacGuffin. You both f***ed up.
Do you have a blueberry MacGuffin?
An egg McGuffin?
An egg MacGuffin? An egg McGuffin?
All right. The new challenge is who can Slav squat the longest. Right now, go. Get up and Slav squat.
Lead.
And then and then get nice and down low, and this is just hold it for as long as you possibly can. Hey, no.
What? Yeah, what is this?
No.
Automatically disqualified?
No, not automatically disqualified, but a hard no.
There's no rules against it at the beginning.
God, millennials think they can cheat all the time.
Cool. Well, you guys do that. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna take a quick poop while I'm here.
Don't poop. Don't poop. Yep. Hey, do you want to get out? Want to go get some food? All right, yeah. So we'll leave these guys here.
For a while.
All right, you Slavs, keep Slavin. We'll be back in a little bit. Okay, I got my timer going. I got my phone on me.
See you guys. I'll just sit down.
Probably just sit down. No, I'm making him Slav squat so you can Slav squat the longest.
Who are we going to say won?
I don't know.
You can win.
All right.
I'm probably going to be off next season. So.
When you hear them coming, let's just squat and you just fall over real quick, okay? Because I don't, I'm old, my knees hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, no! I win! Yeah!
Totally just like snap my back.
He fell over. You saw that.
What I saw were two assholes sitting on a couch, and then when I walked through the door, I saw those same two assholes reassume the position I told them not to leave.
Yeah, they saw that too, so it's okay. You don't have to re-explain that.
I'm the champion.
Well, see, we decided to.
I don't care. Mailfern!
All right, Mailfern time. Let's see. We got a few. All right, let's see. Mr. Lonely Heart, Matt. Mr. Torso, that's Aidan, and Almost Newlywed, that's Horatiu.
What is the worst a movie's ever been spoiled for you? I think it would have to be The Force Awakens. My little brother, or half-brother, is a meme-tard, and decided to spoil the death of one Han Solo for me, but even though we all knew it was coming, because Harrison Ford hasn't wanted to be Han Solo since the 1980s.
Confetti.
From the weird guy down the hall, are there any movies that you either have or would find too disturbing to watch? Yeah, I'm not really big into like the gore movies, like torture porn movies, like Saw and Hostel and
Human Centipede.
Oh yeah, that kind of stuff.
Serbian
is weird.
film.
Yeah, I've never.
That
I've only
is
heard about that. I
masterpiece.
thought you're disgusting.
That's.
So yeah, no torture porn, please.
This one time I put it out on watching a movie too. What's your opinion on watching movies with horrible people in them? Can you separate the art from the artist, or is that bull? From Tommy Wiseau. I kind of feel like if you have bad actors in a movie, it's going to take down the actual quality of the movie. That's why it's so important to have good casting. So it's really hard to separate it unless it's intentional. That's my opinion. So yeah.
Wait, read that question again.
I don't think you answered the question.
I don't think you answered that question properly.
So
See,
I
what they
think-
mean
yeah.
by horrible person, especially in this climate, is someone who holds political ideals or maybe in the past did something that person doesn't agree with.
Oh, a Kevin Spacey
and
or
now
Bill
they're deemed
Cosby.
a horrible person who needs to be canceled. Yes.
Yeah, not terrible actors, because obviously terrible actors are going to make a movie terrible.
Yes.
Idiot.
But does the fact that Kevin Spacey, that he likes to touch little boys, does that change the fact that he's real good in Seven, you know?
Yeah, no, I guess no. I don't really care. Like, the movie's still good as is, even without them. I don't want them to get work again. I don't mind the work that they did, especially if it's good work. But at the same time, I don't want them to work.
See, I feel
This is not your answer.
Oh, well, you drop something like that, and as a show like this, I just got to point out, you know,
Are we just gonna put
not
this into the
everyone
all play?
agrees with that.
Yeah. All play.
But I feel like everybody should be able to have their own personal views and opinions, and as long as you're not hurting anybody, no one should be victimized or made to feel bad about those views.
But like, Kevin Spacey touched little kids.
But, I mean, that's Kevin Spacey. Yeah. You know, there could be other things, other people that maybe not have done anything that bad, maybe just made like a tweet that people didn't like James Gunn. And got the backlash and ire, but now he's rehired, so.
There's this crazy idea that we should probably employ nowadays, and that's called taking each situation as its own.
Whoa!
Yeah, treating everything as its own thing and not putting a blanket, how dare you on everything.
Horatiu coming through with some controversial takes over there.
Yeah. 2019, people.
What's that?
Let's use logic. This is our all play. All right. So, what movie caused your sexual awakening? By Ron Jeremy. From Ron Jeremy. Matt? Aidan? Do we need an ad break to think about this?
I don't think we need an ad break, but like, I don't know if like any movie was like, oh yeah.
I'm just trying to remember it because back in the days, you know, those kinds of things weren't like a movie you'd go and watch per se. It was more so like, oh, I tried downloading the Linkin Park in the End video and this video is not what it said it was. So, I mean, I don't know the title of the video or the movie, but it existed and we can blame the great people at LimeWire.
I guess this should have been what film caused your sexual awakening, not what movie.
I can tell you like what the video was.
No, thank you.
We're good.
Please
I don't want to put like a clip of
play
that
by
into
play,
the show.
please.
So it starts with this girl, right? All right, so that's it for envelopes?
Yeah, that's.
Actually,
What are you doing on set?
Sorry.
Stop while we're filming.
Got one more
Give
here.
me this.
Okay, all right.
What is that?
It is from Hollywood. It just says Hollywood,
Are we finally getting
California.
discovered?
Is this it?
Is this
Is
it?
this Hollywood telling us that we're going?
Notice to cease and desist from Hollywood, California, April 2nd. So it's not a fool's copyright infringement. Deal Mailfern has been terminated. You are currently using music clips without our authorization. Copyright since Title 19 of U.S. 17 code. We have found the unauthorized use of being an video produced and accordingly we want $150,000. If you do not see these affirmation copyright
How much?
material.
What are you reading?
You have not
I
received
can barely
any
hear you.
for the second day of June 2019 indicating you fully comply with the requirements. I shall consider taking any illegal situations sincerely, all of Hollywood.
So good news?
Well, I can break down the legalese for you if you want me to break down the legalese
What does
for you.
cease and desist mean?
Stop using movie clips.
Oh, we have to take down all our videos?
No, we don't have to do all of Hollywood sent us this letter.
Yes.
So maybe we send a letter to all Hollywood.
Telling them to cease and desist.
Telling them to cease and desist and to stop making their bullshit movies and sequels and clickbait and celebrity bullshit gossip and nothing but Kardashians and Kanye West and bullshit
That's
after
right.
bullshit. And we're doing everything completely in our legal right.
We're
as
doing whatever we
Americans
want.
under the title code of the U.S. copyright law.
You can't cancel us.
You can't cancel us. You can't
We'll be back for season 4.
We'll be back for season 4. We're gonna do more. We're gonna even. We'll recreate our own movies.
Yes.
And we'll do it even more. And we're going to Iowa. And we're going to North Dakota. And we're going to Illinois. Yeah!